What's up, YouTube? Hamish McDowell here. All right. Well, I promised a Jay's 10 questions. I am about, 8, 9 months late to the party, but that's okay. Better late than never. Before we get going, a little housekeeping. Smoking this basket pipe. That's right. This was actually the first pipe I ever purchased. It was a barrel, I guess, is what I bought it out of, but it just says made in Greece on it. It is a briar pipe, but it's a good smoker. I think I paid like, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks for it, and I got it at a shop in Lexington, Kentucky, that's called Schwab's Pipes and Stuff. And at the time, you got a pipe, you got some pipe cleaners, and 2 ounces of tobacco, things like that. So, but this is my very first pipe I've ever owned, and in it, I'm smoking some Ball-Headed Teacher from Four Noggins. If you're looking for a good crossover blend that has some Latakia but yet aromatic sweetness to the room note, I suggest you try this blend out. Hit me up if you want to do a trade or something. I have plenty of it. This is actually from 2013. I bought quite a bit of it, stored it, jarred it, and now I'm enjoying it. So, anyhow, that's not the point of this video, if there is even a point, right? Jay's 10 questions. So I typically try to do this every single year. Answer these questions. I find them funny. I like to watch other people's answers and listen to other people's answers, and I don't know. I like to go back, like I just watched the one from last year, and compare my answers from each year, because if you don't know, Jay does do this every year, and like question number 1 is always the same. He talks about a gallon of milk, a gallon of gas, 50 grams of tobacco, a cigar, things like that in your region. But so, without further ado, let's move forward. What do the following items cost where you live? It says 1 gallon of milk. A gallon of milk costs anywhere from $1.60 to $2. 1 gallon of gas. Well, during the filming of this, Hurricane Harvey just hit the Texas, Houston. By the way, prayers and good thoughts to all those folks who are going through that right now. Hang in there, you're going to get through it. But because of that, some of our gas here on the East Coast has gone up to about $2.65 a gallon. All summer, it's been sitting around anywhere from $2 to $2.20 a gallon. 50 grams of tobacco. Tobacco I would smoke 10 to 15 bucks, just depending on what kind of tobacco and where you got it from. 1 cigar, anywhere from $5 to $10. And 1 large topping pizza. If you have a coupon, you can get them for $6 if you do a hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars, which is a pizza joint here. I don't know if they have those anywhere else, but they're $5 hot and ready. And a dozen eggs. This one surprised me because right now a dozen eggs cost about, I think the last time we paid 69 cents for a dozen eggs, which seems really, really cheap, but we changed where we shop. We have grocery stores called Aldi here where I live, and so things are a little bit cheaper there. Not cheaper made, just there's some things that they do to save prices to the customer. But yeah, 69 cents for a dozen eggs. Number 2, do you believe in luck? Yes. Yes, I believe in luck. I think some people get lucky. I mean, even just think about where you're born. I was lucky enough to be born in a country where, I can be set on a path to be successful and be free, and for me, there's some kind of luck. I heard a statistic the other day that said it's 440 billion is the 1 to 440 billion is the odds that you were born exactly by the 2 people that you were born from, where you were born. So the odds of everything aligning is astronomical, not even close. But yeah, I do believe in luck, absolutely. What do I normally eat for lunch? I don't eat a big lunch. I've tried to stay off of eating large lunches. I do pack my lunch at work. I usually take tuna fish with just a small amount of Miracle Whip with a little bit of sweet relish crackers. I'll do grapes, strawberries, blueberries, and then a cheese stick and a yogurt. So typically I try to eat generally healthy at lunch. I do tend to eat larger dinners. I know statistics say, oh, you gotta taper off your meals. I like eating a big dinner. So, would you live in complete darkness for 2 weeks for money? How much money? The idea of that, I don't really like it. I think that would be terrible. I think you'd probably drive yourself insane to the point where you may not even be able to use the money when you got back to the light or the daylight. But depending on how much money is whether I would consider that any further. But just saying money, if you could become an expert at one skill instantly, it says, what skill would that be? I'm sure it says supposed to be, what skill would that be? I think I'd become a expert wine taster, like a sommelier, someone who can like pick up a wine glass and like when they swish it around, which this could be complete bullshit when they do this, but they can swish it around in their mouth and they can taste all these different things and different flavors, and they can even tell you the year and the region and the temperature that the grapes were harvested, and that's really cool. And I've seen it done where they actually get it right. So to me, there is some kind of skill involved. But a lot of times, at least the people I hang out with, we're not some fancy-dancy people. We're country folk. So, tasting some wine, it's like, oh, that's sweet, or oh, that's dry, or that's sour. So that's about the extent. But I think it would be cool to be able to taste wine like that. Do you believe in reincarnation? I believe in God. I believe that we all have a soul, and there's something bigger in the universe than us, and then our soul does go somewhere when we die. And reincarnation, technically, the science side of it says, yes, we all become back to ash or dirt or whatever it may be, and eventually we're soaked up into the soil, and maybe we come back as grass or a plant or flower or a tree or whatever that may be, nutrients for another life source. But I do believe when you die, I believe there's a heaven, I believe there's a hell, and I believe that your soul, depending on how you've conducted yourself here while on Earth, either goes there or there. And so I'm Catholic. I believe in purgatory, so I don't believe in essentially everyone is damned, but that there is hope for people who have had a good soul, but maybe just need that cleansed a little further before they can actually journey forward to heaven. Would you rather row across the ocean or walk across the desert? Neither. But if I had to choose one, man, the ocean, it just make you sick. I used to get car sick when I was a kid. I'm going to go with the desert. Just because you can stand up and sit down. Like, you're walking across the desert, you get tired, sit down for a minute, or you can stand up. If you're rowing across the ocean, you're pretty much sitting down. And it's all upper body and arms, and you can see that my big muscles here. So I'd probably walk across the desert. Yeah. In 5 years from now, will you remember what you did yesterday? Nope, sure won't. Pretty insignificant. Just another day, which is, I don't know, you read stuff and you hear stuff about, you got to maximize every day, live to the fullest, and, sometimes that just doesn't happen, I have a great life. I cannot complain at all. Wonderful family, wonderful job, wonderful house, live in a great area, extremely blessed. Some of that is routine, but I think routine's not necessarily always a bad thing. And I've read things where, you get in a routine and, you just, you shouldn't do that. And I think it can be healthy to have a routine. I still grow, I still learn, but I don't necessarily do things most days that are just, life-changing or life-altering. If you had the chance, would you go to the moon? I don't like heights. I love roller coasters because I get to, this kind of runs into question 10, your greatest fear, but it's not my greatest fear, but I don't like heights. I love riding roller coasters because it gives me a chance to hit that fear head on in a safe manner. But I would absolutely go to the moon. 100% I would go to the moon. Not the dark side of the moon, but I would go to the moon. And it would be extraordinary just to go to space and feel what it's like to have no gravity. And, I don't know. I think it would just be an awesome opportunity. So, yes, I would go to the moon. 10. Has your greatest fear ever come true? Nope, because I ain't dead yet. No, the older you get, you start to think, about death and things like that, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us. But at this point, I guess my greatest fear is not necessarily death itself. It's the fact that leaving my wife and my kiddos behind, and at least right now at this point, because I have young kids, and they need me. They rely on me, and I'm glad that they do. And I still want to be a part of their life for as long as possible. So for me, I guess leaving my family behind in the sense of dying that way, that's probably my greatest fear. So, all right, that's it. Oh, bonus question. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Bonus question. What state do you live in? I live in the great bluegrass state of Kentucky. That's it. That's just the bonus question. What state? I live in Kentucky. In fact, I live near Lexington, Kentucky, as I said, the bluegrass state. So we do a lot of horse racing, bourbon drinking around here, which is excellent. But yeah, if you're ever in the area, Jay, or anybody, hit me up, and we'll swing into Schwab's together and grab a cigar or a bowl or good bourbon or something. So, all right, Jay, as always, thank you. This is almost 12 minutes long, which is 12 minutes too long. But thanks for what you do, and thanks for hosting this. And I'll keep watching your videos. And everyone, if you haven't subscribed, DIGHSX. Jay, check him out. Really great guy. So, until next time, see you on down the road. Cheers.